So first of all, shelling in Ukrainian cities has continued as Russia and Ukraine are poised to hold fresh talks involving peace. Now, of course, last time this happened, Russia essentially just ripped up the peace agreement and threw it on the floor and then stomped on it and took a shit on it as well. Who knows? Maybe these peace talks will go better. I certainly hope that they do. Of course, I want this war to end as soon as possible. It has benefited absolutely nobody. Just let Ukraine join NATO, okay? And Russia, you can go back to being your creepy little authoritarian dictatorship and leave the rest of us alone, okay? Top negotiators from the Russian and Ukrainian governments are holding renewed peace talks on Monday. Ukraine's officials have said both sides have cited progress in the lead up to the meeting, Reuters and the BBC reported. Meanwhile, at least 2 people were killed on Monday as the capital came under shelling and missile attacks. So people are dying, Russians are dying, Russian troops are dying, Ukrainians are dying, Ukrainian citizens, Ukrainian troops, they're all dying. This is unnecessary death, and I want to see this end. But you know something? We are not going to see this end by discriminating against Russian individuals. When you discriminate against Russian individuals, you do literally nothing to benefit your cause. Instead, you just further reinforce this stereotype that Americans are creepy racists. There has been a repeated amount of discrimination going on against Russian individuals in America. So Russian-owned businesses, for example, in the US are facing discrimination and vandalism over the Ukraine invasion. Of course, we're all aware that McDonald's, Starbucks, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and General Electric have all announced last week that they were temporarily suspending their business in Russia in response to the country's invasion of Ukraine. Now, I understand this, it might not be good for their business to be operating in a country that's invading another country. I get that, okay? But again, when you suspend these businesses, you're really harming, you're harming the Russian economy, but you're also harming the Russian citizens. This is a tough one. So I don't want to support the Russian economy, but I don't want to harm Russian citizens. This exodus of major corporate entities out of the Russian economy in order to put pressure on the Kremlin has also trickled down to smaller family-owned businesses in the US. So a liquor store in Kansas took all Russian vodkas off its shelves last week in hopes of inspiring others to take a similar stand in solidarity with Ukraine. That's kind of cringe. Do you think if you're knocking back a couple shots of Russian vodka that you're like, yeah, I support Putin's authoritarian imperialism? Glug. Come on. This kind of seems like a virtue signal. Russia House Restaurant and Lounge in Washington, D.C. has been vandalized twice earlier this month. The restaurant had smashed windows, a broken door, and anti-Russian writing on the walls. They're also getting hateful phone calls. Do you think if they're yeah, we're the Russian House Restaurant, that they're supporting Putin's attempt at invading Ukraine? Really? Why don't you take your hateful phone calls and put it towards something that matters? Or at least something that isn't harming people. Go type an angry Facebook post, You're still doing absolutely nothing, but hey, at least then you're not harassing people that do not deserve any form of harassment whatsoever. Even a Los Angeles-based independent record store announced on Instagram that they were served an eviction notice from their landlords following a stream of threats and hateful messages. And of course, they believe they have been targeted for being a Russian immigrant-owned business. Come on. If somebody immigrates from Russia and is now here in America, that person is just as much of an American as anybody else living in America is. Please, can we not start treating Russian citizens or Russian Americans as a lower or lesser class? Please don't do this. This is not helping anybody. Another New York City restaurant, they also told Business Insider that they've been forced to remove any mention of Russian food from their online presence, including their website, social media, Yelp, and they had to change it to European. Come on, man. You can support Ukraine and be against Putin's invasion while not discriminating against Russian immigrant businesses. This isn't necessary. That's one way that Russian Americans are being targeted, primarily their businesses being vandalized, either forced to close up or forced to change their food to say European rather than featuring Russian dishes. The banning of Russian cats from the... No. This cannot be real. People are losing their fucking minds, dude. We have like a war over with Russia and Ukraine, and suddenly everybody's just going mad. Now Russian cats are also being banned from international competitions. According to the ban, any cat bred in Russia cannot be imported or registered in their pedigree book outside the country. Not only that, but any cat belonging to exhibitors living in Russia cannot enter any show outside the country, no matter where they were registered. Yeah, don't let any Russian cats in your little cat competition, okay? This is absolutely going to help show support for Ukraine, you know? I support Ukraine. That's why we're banning all Russian pussies. Following Ukraine invasion, Russian-American workers are now being harassed. So an executive at Midwest-based textiles company temporarily denied a Russian-born sales manager new customer opportunities. The executive said to the sales manager, "Let's avoid any unnecessary negative vibes with potential clients, at least until this whole Ukraine thing blows over." Yeah, you know, you really wouldn't want any negative vibes in your company, so why don't you just be racist? A supervisor at an East Coast marketing firm suggested that a new hire just keep your head down and try to lessen that obvious Russian accent for a bit for the next few months, particularly around top management. A manager at an accounting firm put a Russian-speaking certified public accountant on the spot at a team meeting by repeatedly asking her to, quote, "Please explain Putin's motives for invading Ukraine." The hubris of this guy, just assuming, oh, this lady's of Russian descent. You must know what's going on in Putin's mind. As we know, all Russians are a monolith. What the fuck, dude? This is the equivalent of somebody saying, hey buddy, hey John, you're white. Can you give me an explanation? What was up with America having slavery? Huh? What was the deal with that? It's like, I don't know. And listen to this. Since the Ukraine invasion began, we've seen a 70% increase in clients requesting the inclusion of additional tangible, realistic national origin related scenarios in our equal employment opportunity management skills and workplace respect training programs. So since this thing has happened in Ukraine, a 70% uptick with people asking to extend these protections so that clients won't be discriminated against on the fact that they're Russian or of Russian descent or have a Russian accent. Any kind of national origin discrimination, it does violate what America stands for, even according to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and many state laws prohibit discrimination on the basis of national origin. So come on, America. You're better than this. Okay, we can support Ukraine. I support Ukraine. I don't support Putin's asinine invasion. That shit's stupid. But again, how is violating the Civil Rights Act and state laws, which prohibit discrimination on the basis of national origin, helping anyone? You're not showing your support for Ukraine by discriminating against Russian descendants, Russian Americans. You're doing nothing but harming people. So this kind of shit is absolutely disgusting. It should be condemned in every conceivable way. Like I said, I don't care what your political affiliation is. If you're behaving this way, then fuck you. Don't be a racist shitbag, okay? Don't be a stupid racist idiot. Start looking at these things with even an ounce of goddamn nuance and recognize that Russian Americans have fuck all to do with Putin's decision to invade Ukraine. Stop singling these people out. Stop vandalizing buildings because they are Russian restaurants. And can we stop banning Russian cats and like Russian vodka and shit like that just while we're at it? Because that's really dumb also. This is basically the same as what happened to Americans of Middle Eastern descent after 9/11. Dude, why is it that every time there's a crisis, Americans seem to default on like, let's just be racist? Hunter, Russians are not a race. I don't care. You can still, there's literally a term for it. It's literally called Russophobic. Russophobia. I know it sounds kind of funny. Anti-Russian sentiment, commonly referred to as Russophobia, describes prejudice, fear, or hatred against Russia, the Russians, and Russian culture. I'm not necessarily saying that it's racist, quote unquote, because Russia's not a race. But yeah, if you're singling somebody out on the basis of their national origin, then colloquially especially, I'm fine calling that racist, okay? Don't become a stickler for semantics. Okay. I wanted to cover that, a little bit of a shorter topic, just give some updates there about things happening in Russia and with the discrimination going on. Really, really fucked up shit.